I'm 64, but I want to thank 54-year-old me for finally putting me first. It was 10 years ago this month. I walked out of divorce court, and within 7 days, the job I had worked so hard for was eliminated. Just like that. No longer a wife, no fancy job to define my success. And in that moment, I had to ask myself, why was this happening? I had asked God to free me from the life that no longer served me, but I never thought that would leave me without the two things that had defined me for over 30 years. But I thank God He did. Without that loss, I never would have gained so much in return, like the courage to write a book, to start multiple businesses. I wouldn't have gained the courage to travel to over 14 countries alone. Wouldn't have discovered parts of me that I thought no longer existed. So my point is, don't be afraid to leap. Because when you leap, the net will appear to catch you and bring you to a life you didn't even know could exist for you.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but I just moved out of my 5-bedroom house. Okay? And I have been crying for days because I was so disappointed in myself. I felt like a complete failure as a mom, as a daughter, as a sister, because I got this house for my family. It's always been my dream to get my mom a house, to get my sister a house, because my family is small. Me, my sister, my mom. It's always been my dream to be able to do this. And so even though I was just renting it, it's something about not being able to afford it that just really took the wind out of me. But then the past few days, I've been crying so much, you guys. Like, you guys just don't even know. The past few days, I had to really sit down with myself and sit down with God and really look at all the things that I've accomplished. Like, I started my cleaning business. I quit my job 5 years ago. I started a cleaning business. In my first 2 years, I made $33,000 just off of me cleaning by myself. Okay? By myself. Then I had success on TikTok. I have a community of over 140,000 friends, followers, and I was able to secure almost $146,000 just promoting products on TikTok Shop. So I had to realize that I got it in me. One thing I could do is make some money. One thing I could do is make some money. But I was having a huge pity party because I've just felt like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe that I'm in this space in my life. Like I feel like I'm going backwards. But let me tell you, what is having a luxury item, like a house, a car, all these clothes, designer things, when you can't even afford it? I realized what it means to live above and below your means. And I realized when you're going through things, you literally cannot ask God why. You cannot ask Him why. Why is this happening to me? It's happening to you because it is. That's why. So it could build your character, make you stronger, help you get prepared for those riches, that real wealth that is on the way. But see, you can't fumble it next time. That's what I had to tell myself. So I'm starting over, friends. I moved back in with my mama. And I ain't mad about it. I mean, I am a little mad about it. I'm not gonna lie, because 2 black ladies in the house, ooh, not good. But I'm here to say this. If you made it to this part of the video, it's okay to start over. It's okay to start over. It is okay to start over. It's okay to not know what you want to do next. It is okay to seriously cry, be upset about your life, just be disappointed in yourself, be frustrated. All those things are okay. But what's not okay is if you stay in that space. You can't stay in that space. You have to get up and keep going. You have to. You got to find it in yourself. So take it from me, okay? I've accomplished so much, but here I am again, starting over. So come on a journey with me, because this is crazy, but we're going to do it again. We're going to make it happen again. I'm scared. Bye.
Okay, so this is going to be a very transparent post. I'm not trying to come on here and cry. I'm really not. And I don't talk about people who do it, but I'm not sent up record to cry. But if I'm crying, I can't help it, right? But I just wanted to talk about this because I feel like enough people do not talk about, I don't even know, I'm not the best with words, y'all, so just work with me. The transition from, if you've spent your entire life being a caregiver in some sort of capacity, whether that was for your children, your family. I was in the military for 15 years, NCO most of it, so I was always mentoring, training. You know, I have my soldiers, those are my kids too, and I still have them to this day, even though I'm not in. But my whole life has been surrounded around somebody, right? Another person outside of myself. It's never been about me, ever been about me. Well, now my son left a few weeks ago. My dog left yesterday. I had to give my dog away. And so it's just me. And so I don't feel like people do not talk about the transition that comes with, now you have to really sit with yourself, right? I thought that I knew who I was. I thought I knew what I liked. I thought I knew like all these things. And damn it, this is devastating. I know it's just a dog. But yeah, like they were my best friends, my son and my dog, and this is stupid. This is so dumb. What is that person doing over there? This is so dumb though. Like, I feel dumb for crying about it, but it is an adjustment emotionally, mentally. My house is just not the same. I'm already dealing with not being in the military anymore. My life has done such a drastic change at 39 years old. And I don't think people really talk about the mental effects or just how hard this transition can be as an empty nester and just trying to find yourself at such a big age when you thought you had everything already figured out. Because God damn it, I don't. You know, but you still have to keep pushing. You still have responsibilities for yourself. But I am looking forward to being able to focus on myself and, you know, just be about me. But that's new. I don't know how to do that. So I'm learning. So I guess I'll just take you guys on this journey with me, trying to figure out what my life looks like now at 39 years old, as a new empty nester. And yeah, we'll just kind of see where this journey takes us. But if there's anybody else who can relate, follow me, DM me, girl, let's chat. Because send help.
I remember being 35 and just feeling like, what is life? I could not make sense of why at that point in time I felt like I hadn't accomplished anything. But what changed for me strategically at 35 is that my sister passed away at the age of 39 from sickle cell anemia. And losing her, who was really in a position where there really wasn't much she could do. She was a sick person. She had been sick her entire life. She had never gotten married or had children, and that's something she was lamenting over in the end. But again, it was really out of her control. She didn't ask to be sick. She just was. So that woke me up because I said to myself, I'm able-bodied, right? I can turn my life around. So I needed major dental reconstruction, and I finally got it done. So I got my premolars removed. I got braces. I took styling lessons. I took etiquette lessons. I finished my Hindi lessons, and I went to therapy because I had a lot of grief and things to deal with. And I didn't know what the outcome would be, but I said I have to live intentionally on purpose for myself to be my best self, because I not only owe this to myself, I owe this to my sister, who lost her life at 39 years young, and there was just nothing she could do about it. So I do feel like if we are healthy in mind and body, and we're alive and well, there's so much that we can overcome. There's so much that we can change. Now for me, that did turn into me meeting my husband at 37, getting married at 38, having a baby at 39, becoming a homeowner at 40, starting this TikTok at 41. And when I posted that video, I really was not expecting the overwhelming response. But as I'm reading the comments, and I'm gonna be responding to a few of them, I just couldn't help but remember where I was and how far I've come. And I am just so grateful and honored that I can give some hope to my ladies out there. So I'm wishing you all the best, and you're gonna see a few more of these videos. I'm responding to comments now.
One thing's for certain, two things for sure. If you're over 40, baby, you're just getting started, okay? It's not a lot out here that I can guarantee, but I can guarantee you that you're just getting started. You know what I mean? If you look at anybody who's reached a level of success, most people just get started at 40. So when you're thinking that you're behind the 8 ball, baby, you're in front of it. You're right where you're supposed to be. Okay? Stop telling yourself that you can't pivot, you can't transition, you can't turn around, you can't do something different, you can't start over, rebuild, regroup, reset. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, rebrand, reinvent, you can do it. But see, you got to believe that you can. See, if you keep telling yourself that you can't, then you won't. All right. What the mind believes is what the body receives. And ultimately, that is what you're going to achieve. So for all of you out there who feel like you are missing the mark, baby, you right on it. And on that note, stay healthy, be well, and take care of you.
Not where I wanted to be. I haven't succeeded at any.
I remember when I had that kind of awakening. I'm not in my 40s. I am a little bit over my mid 30s, but I had that realization and that awakening, I'd say closer to my late 20s, early 30s. You wake up out the matrix, and I call this a spiritual awakening because like you wake up one day and you're like, what am I doing? I'm chasing after this superficial, not real narrative of all these markers of success. All of these markers that's been shoved down our throat, and she's in her 40s, so we're on the same time frame of where this narrative was literally like beaten into us of go to college, get in a relationship, get a house, create a family, work, then retire, and then like you did good. You're a good, solid American. The problem with that is that our society no longer has a container for that. So we're chasing after this checklist. We're chasing after these markers to identify ourselves as successful people when they're no longer attainable. So you have people, millennials mainly, in my generation who are losing their crap and have to redefine what happiness and success means to them. And that's all she needs to do. She's woken up, she's going to feel anger, she's going to feel sadness, she's going to feel all of these icky emotions, but she's going to have to rebuild her story. So if this is you, you are not a failure. Society has failed us. And now it's our job to take back our narrative and create a life that is meaningful to us, that is not measured by external markers, but by internal validation. That's it. You do.
I'm 54, and I'm going to tell you what nobody told me when I was 30 years old, but I wish they would have. You're not behind. You're just exhausted from holding everything up by yourself. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to apologize for wanting more. And you're not too late. You're just getting started. Stop waiting for permission to change your life. You don't need it. Some people won't make it into your next season, and that's okay. You can change your life radically in 5 years, but it starts with telling yourself the truth now. You can grieve the life you thought you would have and still build something better. God's not done with you. He's about to reroute everything. Take the trip. Leave the man. Wear the damn dress. You're still beautiful. You always were, even when you didn't believe it. Let the friendships fade. Let your body change. Let your priorities shift. That's not failure. That's becoming. And one more thing, that little voice inside of you that says, there has to be more. She's right. Just wait, sis. Your future self is gonna blow your mind. Hope that helps.
I wish I had known at the age of 35 when I completely reinvented myself, my lifestyle, my work. I literally burned down my life and started over. And now at 15 years later, I can't believe what my life has turned into be. I could have never ever imagined the life that I have today, not even in my wildest dreams. Today, at 50, I travel whenever I want, wherever I want. I'm completely 100% location independent. At 35, I was dying to be an entrepreneur, start my own business. Now at 50, I've actually been running my business for 15 years. And I've actually reinvented my business multiple times as well. And like, if I was now back at 35, I would be like, fuck, Jazz, go for it. I would say, why didn't you do this 5 years ago? Because it wasn't like I suddenly just woke up and wanted it. It was years of thinking before I actually did it. So if you're in that situation, like something's just not right, and you know it in your heart that the life that you currently have is not for you. There's something wrong, and society keeps telling you just shut up and do your job and be quiet. Don't listen to them. Do whatever the fuck you want and reinvent your life, your lifestyle, your career, whatever is needed to get to the other side when you're actually fulfilled and you're living the way that you really, really want to live. If you have any questions about what I've learned in the 15 years since I burned down my life and started over, let me know. I'm totally happy to talk about it. And I actually really genuinely want more and more women to realize that getting married, having kids, having the career, it's not the end all. That's irrelevant in the scheme of things. There's so much more to life than that. And let me know if you got any questions.
This is pretty much what no one tells you about starting over at 50, that it's really fucking hard. Starting over was terrifying, not just because of the bills and being on a single income, but because I didn't know if I still actually had it in me. I thought maybe I was too old, too late, too tired. But here's what no one tells you. When you actually do hit that rock bottom, you actually don't care what other people think. You start thinking, what if this could actually work? That's what changed everything for me. I stopped doubting. I stopped waiting for that perfect moment. I just followed the system, posted the content, and let the process do the rest. No one's saying it's magic, but it is bloody simple. And more than anything, it's given me my confidence back. I feel like a different person. So if you've actually been sitting there thinking, could I actually do this too? The answer is 120% yes, you fucking well can. And I'll show you how. Drop the word starting over in the comments, follow this profile, click the link in the bio to see the same case study, the same free case study that helped me get started. Because starting over in your 50s doesn't actually mean giving up. It means building something that is finally yours, all yours. And I can tell you that is pretty bloody special.
I'm a former good girl leaning into my grown woman energy.
Oh my God. So as soon as I saw that video, I immediately knew I needed to make a video about it because there is something happening in my life right now and I can't put my finger on it except for to call it grown woman energy. On top of that, the first half of my life I spent being a good girl. And I think that is what's leaving me right now. That good girl that's leaving me, who didn't want to be seen, who didn't want to talk too much, right? And I think this grown woman energy is oozing out of me and I had to talk about it. Like, I was notorious for being the good girl, especially when it came to men. Also when it came to female friends, but we'll get to that in a second. But when it came to men, I wanted nothing else but to be the good girl. I'm the girl that always stays in the house. I don't go out. I don't do too much. I dress very modest. I don't say a whole lot. I've always had a smart mouth. I've always had a sharp tongue, but it didn't mean anything, right? Like, I was the girl who was I was the good girl, right? For lack of better words, a lot of people might even call me a pick-me. And I was, because I wanted to just be so good that I could be picked over any other girl that you might be dating. Child, lame. So like I said, I spent the first half of my life being this good girl, right? And she didn't even make it. She was polite. She was pleasant. She was very much, let me not do too much. All of that, and she still got overlooked. It was like I kept thinking if I was kind enough, if I was nice enough, if I was quiet enough, people would treat me better. But really what I think it did is it just taught them that I didn't know how to say no. It made me agreeable, not respected. But baby, now I don't lead with niceness. I lead with clarity. I lead with boundaries. I'm very much still a good girl in the sense that I'm kind and I'm sweet, right? If you meet me, you're going to have a good time and you're probably going to think I'm one of the nicest girls you've ever met. But I'm not the girl who's trying to be not seen, right? Who's trying to hide her gifts, who's trying to be the quietest person in the room. Absolutely not. I'm the woman who now tells you what she needs without sugarcoating it. I'll tell you how I live. Yes, me and my husband are very much married, but we don't live together. And I'll say it without flinching. I'm very confident with the decisions that I make now. That's very different from the good girl that I was. I'm very much the kind of woman now who I'll say what I need to say, even if it makes the entire room uncomfortable. I'm no longer begging to feel seen. I'm walking into a room and letting myself be seen. And that also goes with friendships, because I've always been the type of person who doesn't want to cause a ruckus. Like, I don't want to cause any confrontation. So I'll let you speak to me however you want. That nice, nasty kind of talk about me, passive aggressive, talk about me in front of my face and I'm not going to say much. I was very much that was the good girl energy in me, because I thought that being a good girl would keep me safe. But honestly, the only thing that it did was keep me silent. And now I'm learning that peace isn't about being agreeable. It's about being honest. And I think that now that I've learned this, I'm never going back. This grown woman energy that is oozing out of me as I am approaching 39, I'll be 39 next month. It feels so amazing. It feels so confident. It feels so feminine. And I am just, I am so happy.